Death simply means somebody who was available to you is now absent, that's all. It is not because one life vanished, you're crying about it. It is just that somebody who was, filling a part of the collage for you is absent, so it leaves a hole in your life. Depending upon how close they were, accordingly it leaves that big a hole in your life. So, what you're battling with is not the death of a person, what you're battling with is the size of the hole they have left in your life. Suppose a faraway relative or a friend, somebody that you know, an acquaintance died, you feel bad for an hour and then you get back to normal. But somebody very close and dear to you passed away, and now they've left a huge hole. So your problem is you trying to tend to this hole which is within yourself. This hole has happened essentially. Now what I say may sound little brutal for people who are in that situation, but one must understand this. If you look for solace, yes, if somebody comes to me who have just lost somebody dear to them, I will also hug them and, protect them and give them some solace. But you must decide whether you want solace or you want a solution to your life. Because today this person will die, tomorrow that person will die, day after tomorrow I may die myself, it doesn't matter. But people keep dying because we are dying kind of people. Let's understand this, all of us, we are dying kind of people. First thing that must be fixed in our mind, we are mortal by nature. So having said that, grief, we must understand, it is on many different levels. There is a psychological grief. In thought and emotion you suffer the loss of the person. But depending upon how much memory you have built within your body with regard to that person, let's say if it's your child or your husband or your wife or some kind of very close bond, then a certain amount of memory is there in your body. We call this traditionally in the yogic culture as runanubandha, that is, body has developed a bond beyond your psychological friendships and companionships and love and whatever else you have. Body itself has done this. A whole lot of people feel this. Somebody close to them died somewhere, they have not received any information. Suddenly they feel their energies are gone and they're like, they don't know what's happened, but suddenly they're almost sick, they're feeling like that, completely drained out. Then after a few hours or few days, information comes that this person is dead. But well before the information came, they will feel this because within the body there is a certain process that the memory starts undoing itself and you feel like you're dumped.
If we do not get the way of life, we will become unfit to live life. If we do not understand the ways of life, we will render ourselves unfit to live life. You know very well, every day, a lot of people are dying. As we sit here in satsang, in 2 hours, how many people do you think would have died in the world? Let's say a few thousands. In 24 hours, I think a few million people are dying. Couple of million at least must be dying. In 2 hours, a few 100,000 are dying. And every one of them who die will be dear to somebody. Maybe 1 person, 2 people, 5 people, 10 people are crying right now about that 1 person who died. So, do we say, oh, it's nothing anyway, they die, leave them alone? That's not it, that is carelessness. I'm not talking about that. To understand that this is the way life is structured, but you have structured your thought and emotion in a different way, which is bound to break at some point. Either it's going to break because you die or somebody else dies. If both of you have to live forever, then we cannot tolerate this. Can you tolerate a whole lot of people who are attached to each other, they never die? Can you tolerate this? It will happen invariably. The only thing is we wish that everybody has a complete cycle of life and die. That's our wish. But what is a complete cycle of life? Even if you live for 500, will you die gracefully, I'm asking? Even at 500, the same struggle will go on, isn't it? Postponement, and much more struggle will happen along the way. So many surgeries of transplant. It's a good business model, but it is not a way to live. So we wish that everybody gets to live their natural lifespan. But what is natural is not for you and me to decide, isn't it?
When a loved one dies, the loss and grief you feel can be deep. You might feel sad, angry, or lost without the person who died. It can take time to adjust to what has happened. Be patient with yourself and lean on people you trust for support and comfort. Join in rituals. Memorial services and funerals are times together. They can help people get through the first few days. They are ways to honor the person who died. Just being with other people who knew your loved one can be comforting. Accept your emotions. Don't stop yourself from having a good cry if you feel one coming on. Accept the feelings you have rather than think you should feel a different way. Sometimes others may expect you to move on before you are ready, but take the time you need. Know that you can heal over time. Healing doesn't mean you forget the person who died. It does not mean that you miss them less. Talk about it when you can. Some people want to tell the story of their loss or talk about their feelings, but sometimes people don't feel like talking. That's okay too. No one should feel pressured to talk. If you don't feel like talking, find ways to express your emotions and thoughts. You can write in a journal, or you can write a song, poem, or make a photo tribute about your loved one. You can do this just for yourself, or you can share it with others.